can't be Debbie Downer either.
All right, so we're about to get into our topic today. Today's topic is matters of the heart, and I have a question to go first. You gonna go first with your little scenario.
Okay, so scenario. Seen it on Facebook. Some of you guys might have seen it. My friend sent it to me, but we're gonna talk about it because this is definitely money is a matter of the heart. Off rip in a relationship. So the scenario is Keith and Tamika get married. Tamika makes $400,000 a year. She's a neurosurgeon. Versus Keith making $44,000 a year. He's a manager at Finish Line. After the wedding, Keith moves into her house. She buys him a new Lexus and gets rid of his Honda Accord. Shout out to Hondas. And she pays for the 2-week honeymoon in Jamaica. Keith and Tamika love each other a lot. They're happy and they're not tripping. But it's the people around them that's tripping and that feels like it's a problem. So, do you think that you can be Keith? For the males, we're asking you, do you think that you can be Keith being in a situation where your woman makes more money than you? And for the women, we're asking you if you can be Tamika being the woman that's making $400,000 a year, basically taking care of your husband.
Okay, so I'm going to go first. So, I think the friends need to shut up. Because if she really is happy, you can't self-impose your normalities or whatever people may put on, the stipulations or whatever expectations people put on society and gender roles and impose them on somebody else who may have a deal that's working with them, first of all. So if she's happy and the only thing you mad at is that he don't, make more money than her, it's a lot of unhappy women with a lot of money. So, you can't really do that. But I think it's unrealistic to eat. Well, this situation is really extreme because he can't make $400,000. Like, he can't make more than her. I mean, unless he becomes a neurosurgeon or something crazy happens. So, and like we said before, he's a manager at Foot Locker. So he's doing good at Foot Locker. It's not like he's a sales associate. But I mean, if it works for them, I say it's not her fault that she chose a profession. I'm sure she wanted to be a neurosurgeon and decided to do it before she met him. Was she supposed to go to the neurosurgeon meet.com and meet all the other neurosurgeons that's in the same tax bracket.
Have a neurosurgeon baby.
Neurosurgeon babies with a neurosurgeon dog and a neurosurgeon fence.
At your neurosurgeon.
Yeah, no, let her be happy. I say, go Keith, go Tamika.
And we got a comment that says, why Tamika tell her business? No,
somebody else. Okay, well, what you think about Tamika though?
Okay, but I got a comment.
Shanty agrees with me.
I agree with you too, but I got a comment. Ray Shannon said Keith and them need to keep people out of their business, LOL. They shouldn't know about how much they make. If it's cool with them, then hey. If it makes me happy, if it makes me and mine happy, I gotta be happy.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. That's how I feel.
Fellas, would you be able to be Keith? You making $40,000, she making $400,000. You know, I'm gonna tell you why I think the fellas could be Keith. Because you get to keep your money.
That too, and she ain't tripping. And I also feel like she making so much freaking money, like.
Yeah, but I'm saying like most when you think about normal roles and families, even if you think about a woman making less, the man kind of runs the finances maybe, or he might have to give her some money or allowance, or they gotta, But it's like if she making $400,000, I'm sure they have some joint things they do together. But for the most part, he can live off of his. And she can live off of hers, I mean, it could be a match made in heaven.
Somebody said neurosurgeons and meet.com. Did you say that?
Yes.
And then he laughed at you.
Miss K. Fife said she can stop sharing their finances and let that man flourish selling those shoes. But in Tamika's defense, even though I don't know Tamika, I think y'all are referring to her friends knowing her business, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that you don't have to tell much if your man
is like and you're working in a hospital.
Yeah, it doesn't. If they know what you do, they know what he does. It really doesn't matter anything else that she may tell them.
And let's keep it funky. At least he a black man being a manager at a job. Like at least he got a job.
Nah, I don't like Elisa.
He ain't Tommy.
I don't like Elisa. I'm gonna say that right now. People always Elisa. Well, Elisa. Who was Elisa and why she here? I don't like giving half credit like that. He got a job that's good, but I'm not gonna say at least he got a job because
I'm saying though, because she could have been a neurosurgeon making $400,000, and the man ain't got no job.
I feel.
So I'm just saying on the flip side, like to her friends, I ain't talking about in general because he doing what he like to do. He might love shoes. He might be.
But I'm saying that should be enough.
He's
doing what he wants to do. It shouldn't be at least he got a job because what if he was doing what he wanted to do and it didn't make him no money?
True.
So, Tay Parlay said, as long as he's doing what he loves and she's doing what she loves, and they're both their happiest self, they ain't nothing wrong. And Taylor know, because Taylor about to be making some bangers. And her man, no, I don't know.
It's hard.
And it's Foot Locker, but.
And then somebody said $44,000 though at Foot Locker. Hell, he making more than me teaching.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's doing pretty well. He might move up to corporate Foot Locker. You never know.
We got a guy.
By saving, he
or they can invest, and on top of that, they'll still be.
Yeah, they're having a little.
They got money to blow. They got money to stack. Like they are good.
Well, more
like,
money, more taxes.
True enough, but at the end of the day, she's still popping. Like it is what, and they popping together. And I'm sure they ain't running around. I'm sure they both look the part too. Like yeah, we popping. Cause it's teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work. Shoot.
Yeah, and I think it really is probably because women. Let's keep it real. Women will date a man that ain't good for them, not doing right by them, money or no money, whatever. You know, we date wrong people all the time, and our friends try to put their 2 cents in and say he ain't no good, whatever. So I don't even know if the woman would care what her friends thought, regardless whether he was really bad and they was right, or you know.
Well, obviously she don't care because she.
No, but I'm just saying. So I'm saying that to say that I think in this situation the question lies more on the guy.
Right.
Like, can this guy deal with this? Because I think a woman, if she's in love, he could be doing her wrong. She'll stay with him. So if he's doing her right and she's just making more money,
and she happy. She's not gonna leave.
She's not gonna care what her friends.
And it's like the friends. What y'all got going on? What y'all doing? Y'all got a man? Probably not.
But anyway, we're trying to get this light right. Okay, so
that was the first. That's how we just introed into it. But so we got some questions and some things.
I have a question that's sparked from a conversation me and Martika had about somebody she knew.
Before you go, can we say this one last thing?
Yes.
Comment said her friends might be jealous of how much money she's making, and they just hating all together that she happy.
Maybe I don't know any hating friends, so I can't even put myself in that realm. But I imagine anything is possible. But anyway, I know it's annoying. So me and Martika, we talked about being in a relationship where one person loves the other person more. And so I guess she had this scenario at her job where somebody she knew was getting married, was looking at houses with somebody. They were going to buy a house together. And after they looked at a house, he broke up with her.
Oh.
And told her that she loves him more than he loves her. And the girl was devastated. So I said, good for him.
Thank you.
And good for her. Because I said, I find it really hard to believe that a woman did not know she loved this man more. She probably wanted it to work. She probably believed he would catch up with her, whatever. But he had the balls to stand and say, you love me more, and this is, unfair to whoever it's unfair to. But I think that I just will find it hard to believe that a woman didn't notice that, or she was ready to settle for it, I think. So I think good for him for doing it, and good for you. Your feelings might be hurt because you're alone now, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't want to be with somebody that you love more.
And even if it's
and what do you do at that point? That was the question me and Martika was saying. If you're that person or you're the other person, what do you do?
You live.
Because Martika was saying, the way it is kind of with this lady is almost she would rather be with him, even though she knew it. Yeah.
Well, because they was about to get it popping, they was getting the house and all this.
Right.
Stuff. Well, okay, so I've been in a situation where I've been more invested in the person than the person was invested in me. That's my chance. Let me just be open and real for a second. I knew that we was on the same page, but it really wasn't. Mm-hmm. But it was for different kind of reasons why we wasn't on the same page. And you have to have that conversation because I feel like as a man, you should have balls enough to do it.
Right.
So yes, like you said, kudos to the guy that could say, I ain't there with you. Like, I rock with you the long way, but I just don't rock with you how you rock with me. And I think it's selfish, whoop-de-whoop. So I feel like as the person hearing it is hurtful. It doesn't feel good. But at the same time, you can't help but respect it. Now, the selfish side of you could be like, well, you been knew that or whatever. We can go into a lot of blah, blah, blahs. But at the end of the day, it was said. Better late than never. Never late's better, whatever. It is what it is. And I feel like after you can't say, I still want that.
Right.
That's not logical. Like, because he's basically telling you, like, no, this not it. And it sucks, but it just is what it is. And maybe he'll come around and maybe you might still be, and maybe not. That's the risk he took letting you go.
That's very true. What?
Because I was about to say, because sometimes as men, you know, I don't like to say this whole, if certain things not going on in their life, right? Just the pride of a man, if things aren't correct in his life, that pride sense won't allow him to flourish in no other department. You know what I'm saying? In no other way. And if he's being held back on left or on right or whatever he feel, however he feel, he ain't gonna be able to give you all of him.
Right.
And if he's telling you, it just, hey, shoot. Oh God, we black now.
Yeah, this video. Jasmine, I'll text you to come in here and turn this light on. Please come and do it. So, okay, so I think Martika is commenting on the person, and she said that there was a child involved. There was a child involved that got her, and that's why she wanted the family to. I mean, he broke up the family or whatever. And then she said there was another
child involved.
Yes, he told her he didn't want the family.
Jesus.
But either way. And there was another couple who verbalized that the girl loved him more to their friends in a joking way, but meant it. And I had a problem with that because the girl is clearly selling at this point for staying after he said that. So that's an example of the person. That's an example of the person that knows that the person doesn't like them and then stays around because even though it was joking. Jasmine, the kitchen light. Even though it was joking, you still feel like you know that there's a truth. There's always a little truth in a joke. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, going back, the girl knows before you joke and say it. I just don't believe, girls will try to make it work. And I just feel like you know. Yeah, period. You know your gut. We have instinct.
And the instinct is always real. So it's no point to even think further past it now. If you feel your gut and you want to pursue it still after your gut, then you have to be woman enough also to be able to say, like, I felt this, but I also wanted to risk this. And it is what it is.
Oh, they were literally signing for the house that day. So she was upset that he let it get that far.
Yeah, that's a stretch. To the comment of him having a kid, somebody said you don't want to raise a child in brokenness, lead by example.
Well, let me tell you what I think, another thing, because I already told you a couple things I think. But, I have a theory, and I said, I believe I got this from an older person. I don't know who I got this from. But, that a man should always love a woman more. And I really do believe that. Mm-hmm. And it's a little, trickery in the sense that I think women naturally love more. Mm-hmm. But it has to appear that the man loves you more. Because that just goes to the whole thing of a man courting a woman and seeking her out. He's showing that he wants her. The woman could have wanted you all the time over there across the room, but she don't go over there. Sure, you let him think that the man is coming for you and that he wants you and then he pursues you. So when you are in love with somebody, I believe that the man has to appear to love you more because women are natural nurturers and people who love hard, I feel like. And for a man, you have to overcompensate for it to be any level playing field. And I just think, but that doesn't mean that you say it. That doesn't mean that it's, like that, like I was saying in the other situation. But I think for a relationship to function, the man has to slightly adore the woman a little more.
Well, I could say that I get what you're saying because I'm definitely into being approached and not approaching because I don't want to say it's nothing for a woman to like a man, but at the same time, a man should, sorry to say this, a man should be used to know.
And you want to be a prize.
Right. And it's like, men, as a man, you approach, you court, like those are the things that you do. So I wouldn't be the first person to tell you no. Like, it's like you shouldn't be shocked.
Because the thing is that, as bad as it sounds, you can assume that a man is not going to turn you down. If you're a decent person, you look nice, a man will entertain you, quote unquote. So you already can imply that the guy is down. So when the guy approaches you and the girl agrees, now you know we're both down.
So are you saying more so like genuinely in love or more so like the showing? Because I feel like...
Kind of both.
Because I feel like...
Like I think that the woman may love them more, but it has to...
First of all, I feel like the love should compete, period. I get what you're saying, but I feel like it should be me feeling like, dang, he outdid me today on the love chart. I got to get him back tomorrow because love should always be great. Love should always be refreshing. But I feel like, because I get what you're saying, but I would say more so, in the showing aspect, like the man, it wouldn't be wrong if the man did more. Like if I'm having gifts at home, but it also wouldn't be wrong for the woman to do for the man here and there. Either.
Well, yeah, when I say loves the person, like you want the, like imagine how you feel when the outside people notice that he loves you, he adores you. Like you want that to be, cause that I'm saying that.
I get it. I got
that needs to be.
It just needs to be seen.
Yes.
It needs to be seen that my man loved me.
Yeah.
Like period. It should, cause love is a showing. It's an action. It should be shown.
Because women more so. Like I just feel like the example I just said of somebody telling you can really tell he loves her. That is more less likely. You know, like a woman, I can meet a guy and I just thought he was so cute and I just met him and I'm like, girl, so I really like him and you all with it, you on it with me because you was there and I'm telling you what we texted about. His guys may never even know he met me until, you know, we go on 10 dates. So it's like the flip side of how the people show it every day.
I get what you're saying.
It's more natural for a woman.
And I just had something to say and it slid that fast.
Miss K5 said, my grandma always says the only man that deserves you is the one pursuing you so hard that it seems as if he thinks he doesn't. Oh, I like that. That's good.
And I also feel like, and somebody
that's
asked,
really good actually.
The only man that deserves you is the one pursuing you so hard that it seems to do that.
You have got to start listening to
and well, because people text me their comments, I can't help it. So, and I think that also when it comes down to it, we got a comment that says it needs to be seen by who, when we were saying that love should be seen. And this is how I feel. When I say love should be seen, me personally, you can feel love. You can see two people and feel that. Like, because if it's that genuine, it's like Pierre can see somebody and they be together. That's just like we can watch fake movies on TV and feel what they feel. That's like Remy and Papoose. I felt their wedding when I watched it. It was like, dang, that's dope. She went to jail. He stayed around. He held her down. He took care of the family. He took care of her son. Like, he held it down. And here they are years later having a wedding that they couldn't have because she was locked up. Like, that's love. That's genuine. So the whole world could see, like, oh, this man loved her. First of all, he waited for her to get out of jail. That's enough right there.
And I'm not saying that you tried. You're showing it to prove to somebody else. I'm saying what she just said. It's just natural. It's seen. It's felt. It's not that you're doing it to prove people that he loves you or to show people. It can be your mama because she around. You know, it's not saying that you going out and making it known that he loves you or he's making it known that he loves you. It's just that you can see. It's just that was just the example I used to make it. Yeah. You know.
And then they were saying that it should be felt before it should be seen. It's the same thing. I can't feel you if I don't know you. Like I can't if y'all in a relationship and y'all on in China, I don't know I don't know her. So I have to see it first in order to feel it. So feel before seeing is in an interpersonal relationship with a person, not the people outside looking in, because we're outside looking in. We're not there. All we can do is see what y'all show us. So no, see before feel. I see and then I feel. If y'all need a clarification on that.
Okay. Any other comments?
And yes, Miss K5 says her friend always says a man showcases what he treasures.
Yeah, true.
So let me see what's the next question. Oh, so with matters of the heart being a topic, and usually when you think about matters of the heart, the things you think about are relationships. So are matters of the heart typically only relationship based?
Funny you should say that. I think that they are typically relationship based just because that's just kind of just the mindset that we naturally think, but it doesn't have to be, because my example I was going to use, which I forgot, and your question reminded me, when he asked about being able to see love and who are you trying to show, I was going to say that you're not trying to show it, but it's just naturally seen. The same as some people could hang with me and my sister and be like, they love each other. It's just because you just feel, whether it's the way we joke around, whether it's the way we got inside jokes or we talk or banter with each other. Somebody may say, Pierre love her sister. Like, it's just, you can see it. So it's not that I'm trying to show you I love my sister and I'm hugging her. It's just like you just see. The energy between us. Hey, Jasmine girl. But yeah, family relationships and friendships, I think, are, two matters of the heart, because
Yeah, and that's relationships. I'm not. When I say relationship, I mean all around.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
I'm saying.
So what else is there other than relationship?
That's what I'm saying. Is matters of the heart only relationship
No, I'm asking
based.
Because I didn't know that's what you meant. I thought you meant relationship as in
boy and girl. Oh no, I meant relationship like family relationship, work relationship, and that.
What's outside of that? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, and now I wouldn't know anything like you said, because one of the comments that I got, because I put that on Facebook and it got real low.
She said matters of the heart are priorities in life. Can you explain? Because I don't get it. Anything
that's life living while like work,
anything that's important to you,
which still goes into relationships, because you still make relationship with people. You network to find a job. That's relationship based. Like it's all pretty much relationship. And then so one comment.
Okay, I get it. She said God, family, friends, love, passion for a cause. And Jasmine said I can see that because I got hurt and can't dance, and that hurt my heart. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and one comment I got on it said, I think so. Whether it's an intimate relationship or a friendship, people matter to other people. And if you're specifically talking about intimate relationships, then I think to most people, that's what matters at the heart is, especially women. I tell my friends all the time, I got eggs that need to be fertilized, LOL. But I definitely know to wait on God to give the go-ahead. Then I got another comment that says, the greatest relationship one can have and one that matters is with the Most High. Whoever this being is that you, whatever, that should be the most important relationship, which is also what a friend of mine said. He was saying that the relationship that you have with God or your ancestors or whatever y'all like to call it, whatever relationship that has with you bases your relationship off of other people. So if you have a connection with the higher being and you know how they would typically treat you or the grace and mercy that's bestowed upon you, then you know to be that same way with other people. So it's just a triple effect. Like, it's a triple effect. It just ripples all down. If I know, then that's really why family relationships are very important, because that's what you grow up in.
And we said last week, I told y'all when y'all said relationships are not meant for fun, they are meant for you to grow and heal. So you attract what you need to grow and heal from. So if you dealt with a man not respecting you and you haven't healed from that, you're going to attract the man that's not going to respect you, and you're going to be confronted with growing and healing from that. So your family relationship definitely set the foundation for things you're going to accept or not accept, because you can go through a bad thing and learn from it, of course. But it's going to set a level expectation for you in your life, definitely.
Right. And that's really true. Like people that like you can use, no, I'm not gonna use that. But you can tell what type people grew up in family settings and what type people didn't. And it's not always a bad thing either. But like sources of like the ways they can communicate, or just things that you do that sound foreign to them, or just like for my parents to be divorced and to still be cool and to be able to sit down at a table and we all eat just like your parents,
Lord,
and we could still take a group shot and put it on Facebook and shout out the whole family, and then versus everybody else like, dang, your people cool like that? Like my people been separated and they don't rock like that. Yeah. So it's just like, and for them, let's just say if they grew up, maybe it would go left because that's what they know, but it also maybe go right because they seen it from another side. Like they still got mad love for each other.
And let me just put this little, I know none of our listeners were doing this, but it's a prime example of the problem with Sierra, Russell, and Future. You set the example in the environment of the type of person you want to raise your, environment you want to raise your child in. So it's like, why are we mad that there's two men willing to love? It's sons with no fathers. We have a boy who may have two father figures that could possibly love him and raise him and show how people can get along and for the better of the child and show him how to do it. But we don't know about them. But, people on the outside are judging them. And it's like, that's not how it should be.
People identify with love differently. You can't say love is this or that. It's all in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. And that's true, because different things, that's just like, to me, like somebody pointed out to me before that in a man, I want somebody to be consistent and do what they say they're going to do. And that's very true to me, which if you told somebody, if you ask me, why do I like you? And I say, you do what you say you're going to do. That's not deep for them. That's like, that's it. But it's like, real. To me, if I come, from a life where nobody does anything for me and they always saying they're going to do it and don't do it, you are now you popping. So it's just like you gotta know that love is relative to people's experience, people's expectations, and how much they love themselves ultimately.
Yeah, and love is relative, but when it's feel. That's just like what Big Sean Father say on his album.
Love is a feeling process.
Like I can feel it. Like I can feel the love that somebody has for me off of a Facebook post or something. Like I can feel it. It's just a feeling, and it's nothing greater.
But to go back to it being relative though, is because too, when you feel it from a person, you know that person. Because you know what you say to me on my birthday may not be the same as somebody else say to me. But I feel it both ways because I know how you talk. I know how they say. I know what we have. Whatever. So it's all relative to people.
Relative.
And,
It's very much so relative.
So that's it with that.
That's good.
Okay. So my question I put on Facebook was, I asked what was the hardest thing about a breakup. If it was like having to see them out and about, or their social media, or is it to see them with somebody else, or is it just the fact that you're alone now? And I got a comment that said, the frequenting of the same places is undoubtedly most annoying. If somebody hasn't moved on. It's hardest if there was no closure, though. Closure is a privilege, but it wouldn't be as hard seeing a person after the fact if there was some closure and they didn't end on bad terms. What you think about that?
Breakups, period, is just like a sigh.
Okay,
like,
we know that. But
so
I'm saying about the closure.
I don't. Now, granted, the frequency, that's what's the word I'm looking for? That's like a drawback. Like, oh my God, it's the frequency of having to run into a person when you're trying to break up. Because let's keep it funky. When you break up, you still ain't broke up yet.
Right.
Like, don't nobody break up and y'all just never talk for 2 weeks off the rip. It's like we broke up, but bruh still want to check on her, or she still want to just say hey, or she's still crying, so she's still trying to get closure. She's still sending paragraphs. He's sending one-liners. He's still making her mad. So it's still a whole process that you go through, and the frequency of seeing them during the process is trash. Because let's keep it funky. We're gonna be lit. Drinks are gonna be involved. If you see, hey, hello, let's keep it funky. You're gonna be lit if you're seeing them somewhere, because it ain't like we're gonna see them at the mall or at Applebee's.
Well, no, I mean it depends on what kind of life setting you in.
And let's talk personal. In our life settings, we'll see people.
No, but I'm just okay. I wasn't talking about me, but I was just saying in general.
I'm saying the frequency of seeing somebody, you only gonna see them where y'all involved in.
Right, but I was saying, you said it's not like we not, and I'm saying you could.
Okay,
yeah, you could be seeing them at the mall. If they live in the same city, you might my life works out like that. I run into people everywhere.
You right? I could see you at the mall.
You could. It depends on, especially if y'all in college or something. You might just see them going to class. That's not lit. It's just a regular Monday.
Okay, so that's college. So even still, you gonna see them everywhere. Yeah, I got you.
I'm just saying.
Either way, it's terrible and it's inevitable. Sometimes you can't even go around it.
So to the closure point, I think I get what she was saying about if you ended on bad terms, you might don't want to see them or whatever. But I don't know. I hate the word closure personally.
Because me too.
Because we probably hate it for different reasons though. Because I'm not a person that gotta say something. First off, sometimes I'm pushed to where I'm like, okay, I want to say something, but normally, it's not good. But I can just carry on and vent to somebody else and be done. So my closure isn't gonna always affect my reactions if I seen them or not.
And I say this all the time: you don't ever need closure from another person. Like, I don't need to call you after we've already had a conversation about why we breaking up. I don't need to call you next week talking about I still need closure. No, you don't. ABC happened, and that's it.
Well, I don't.
You can find. I feel like the closure comes from within. I don't feel like a person can give you closure, because he could tell you the same thing, or he or she can tell you the same thing again next week on why y'all broke up, and you still ain't got no quote unquote closure.
Right, that's true. But when people are saying closure, they're not saying, "Hey, I need closure." Some people are just, and you included, just want to say what you gotta say. So that's closure to people. To let you know, that's why I was saying I'm not a person who has to say that, because a lot of people's closure is, I'm gonna tell you about just like you ain't got off your chest. That's why when you see them, you're still mad. So closure to a lot of people is telling them what you gotta say. But the reason I don't like the word closure, because one, I'm not that person, and the real kind of definition of closure would be
would
be the closure it wouldn't be me yelling at you. It would be you yelling at me too, in theory. You know, we're both talking or whatever, but what would that solve? So that's why I don't like closure, because if I tell you this, you say, we're breaking up because we can't see eye to eye. On something. So if I say it, you say B, I say C, you say D, it's going to keep going like that, and then what, that's just y'all final conversation. I think that's what people want. They want the final.
And the reason why I don't like the word closure is because who knows when I want to say what I want to say. Like, I could say, honestly, however I'm moved, I can text you and say whatever I want to say whenever. Like, it's never about me. And closure, me personally, is not about saying what I need to say, because I can be thinking about you 7 months after we broke up and think another scenario or think of something. And if I want to, I'm going to send a message.
7 months?
Yeah, if I want to. If I'm thinking about something, I'm just saying, if
that
would
mean there is no closure ever.
It would mean that I was thinking about it. If I'm thinking about something and I want to say it, I'm going to say it. 7 months? And if I want to text you, I will. I don't care.
Okay, but then that goes against what I just said when I said that you said you're not the person that got to say what you got to say. And you saying 7 months later, you'll say what you got to say.
No, I'm saying in initial conversation.
I'm not talking about initial.
How people say they need closure. The way people use closure is the final conversation. I'm never going to do that because I'm going to say what I want to say regardless.
But I said people use closure to say what they got to say. So if you saying that you're going to say what you got to say whenever, you may not call it closure, but you still want to say whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, closure is the person that initiated is the person with the closure.
Closure is relative.
I'm just saying the person that initiated is the person with closure. Like, you're not going to call me and ask me, do you need closure? So I'm saying when you make the call and you have something to say, that's on your end of the closure. Closure, the word
I
closure
get it, but I wouldn't call to say I need
the
closure.
word, I said don't stop saying that. The word closure is what's messing it up. But meaning, let's look up the definition.
Okay, and while we're doing that, the hardest part in trying to move on with a breakup is trying to use another woman to get over her, and it don't work. That's one option. And y'all do that all the time, and it don't work. Because y'all still be what? Looking for what you had in another person that you're dating now. And baby, guess what? It's only one of us in the world.
So, in terms of what you said, on if you would call 7 months later or whatever, then yeah, you don't believe in closure. Because I don't know if it's something that you don't need, but closure is a sense of resolution. So if there was a resolution or conclusion to the end of it, you wouldn't call it 7 months.
Closure is a way to prolong the disconnect period. The hardest part of breakup is completely disconnecting from a person that you've been with, especially if they're your best friend.
I hate when people say that.
And I mean that's real though. And you know what? Me and my friend Eric was just talking about the whole best friend thing. Like, I feel like it's overrated, that whole my best friend, but it's the word. I think the word best friend, like you being with your best friend, originates because it's your everyday. I think that's why people have kind of like accumulated to saying best friend. I don't know. But either way, it is a person. It is the everyday. And change is just weird. And that's all. A breakup is just a different type of change that you just got to, wing it with, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't like the term best friend just because, and it could be because I haven't had a boyfriend. That I know who my best friend is, and I wouldn't use that term on a boyfriend, so that could be it too. But it's like, I get the concept of it, but I don't like using that term for it because that's all I get. Closure got me thinking of wigs.
See?
This word makes me cringe.
Bruh, and listen, I just said this. I said a closure wig today, and my friend was like, what's a closure wig? I'm like,
child. Okay, so we don't believe in closure, so let's move on.
Does out of sight really mean out of mind?
Heck no. What? Why do you ask that?
Somebody asked, so I put it down.
I mean, no, it does not, but it does help. I mean, because like we just talked about meeting people, running into people, I'm never, I'm not gonna say that actually, but I think out of sight, it's hard to be out of sight these days, first of all, with social media and stuff. Even if you unfollow them, it might be, I don't like a lot of things.
Who is that?
I don't know. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah.
You don't like a lot of, oh no.
What was I saying? Out of sight. So I'm saying, social media and stuff, you can unfollow them. They can still pop on anywhere. Explore page, friends, suggested friends, whatever. So I think out of sight, out of mind is kind of relative in this day and age. But I do think it helps, just because you know, I'm all in my mind anyway, so I feel like I'm a logical person. So if I can make myself think that, it can manifest or at least help, you know.
Out of sight, it works. It does work, especially if like you and the person are distance wise, or like if y'all just never really used to run into each other anyway. Y'all just did the same things together. Like, it works.
Yeah,
it really works. Just not having to see them, because it's like, I don't see you, I don't talk to you. There's nothing in my face to make me think about you, other than if I'm thinking about you.
Which in theory is the easiest breakup. On a scale of breakups.
Indeed.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about running into them. So I had a question.
Yes.
Distance definitely helps. Yes, that's true. The question I had was, is cheating a deal breaker to you?
I think.
Apparently cheating is funny.
Because I'm trying to think what I'm about to say. First off, at this age, yes. Because we know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we in high school and we're growing. Granted, we're still growing beings, but at the age of 26, about to be 27, small shout out for my birthday next week. I feel like if we 27 and older, because a lot of older guys do try to approach us, cheating should be the last thing on the menu. It should be the last topic of discussion. So if we're this old and you want to cheat, then nah, that's not cool.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I agree. Cheating is a deal breaker.
I'm like, wait a minute, what's my
No, I was gonna.
I know, but it was great.
I'm gonna tell you honestly what I was gonna say was, it might sound petty, but cheating is a deal breaker for him.
Yeah,
so it is. For me. So I don't think that, you know, I don't think I should bend on it because girls get looked at. You know, one and a half a guy out of 10 would take a girl back after she cheated on him.
Child.
So there's, I mean, you know, I don't want to hear the whole. No, I'm not.
Yeah, and it's because it's like, now if I'm gonna date you, I mean, not even date, because you can go on and get food with anybody. But if I'm gonna be with you at this age, we ain't being together for fun. We ain't being together to break up in 2 years and then I gotta find another, or wait for somebody to find another. You know, that's not the process right now. At this age, you're supposed to be in a relationship for a purpose. So if that's the path that we're going on, cheating is non-negotiable.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you my theory on the whole cheating, because you know Charlamagne say all the time about how, like, you know, we're not created to be with one person. But he's only talking about men. He ain't talking about women.
He's
talking
about
women.
Women
all the time. Like, he always jokes and say he tell his wife he want to bring in another wife, whatever. But I just think concept wise, okay, even if you want to say that, whatever. But if we have a conversation and that ain't what we about, that's not what we about. So I feel like it's the same as anything you don't want your mate to do. Like,
don't do
it's
it.
Like, if I'm telling you what this means to me and what it, you know, what I feel it is, and you still do it, that's with disregard for my feelings and what I, you know, let you know up front or whatever. So I just feel like that would go for anything. So I just don't understand. But Kamar said it's a discussion that you gotta have because I asked.
So are you dating for fun?
Wait, you asked? Oh,
you
wait.
asked what?
Is cheating a deal breaker?
Right.
Because
if you ask me is cheating a deal breaker, I'm thinking you want to cheat.
I mean, how we already asking that? We already know we're gonna cheat.
And we got the question: is cheating only physical? No,
that's not true. I mean, that goes back to the guys, because a girl will cheat on you, may not cheat on you physically,
but she would get that emotional connection.
Still might leave her. Shit.
Let me tell you something: these women be at their jobs with work husbands. They getting something from their work people that you ain't giving to them. Running around yapping with every darn body, getting on people's nerves.
Child.
Trying to fill some type of void. But yes, cheating is a deal breaker. Like, because it's like, I wouldn't do that to you. And ultimately,
some regular husbands might like that. They ain't got to hear what their wife got to say.
That's true. Because don't nobody want no nagging woman. Girl, can you shut up and let me watch the game? You want to watch it with me?
She's like, I'll just tell my cute mate Jerome tomorrow.
Who is Jerome? Look, then that's an argument. But yeah, at the end of the day, ultimately, we should want the same things.
Right.
And you shouldn't want me to do anything to you.
Come on! I thought you were a nice guy.
If you cheated once. But my thing is, so if you ask her dad, are you thinking about that?
Come on.
Or are you a person that have cheated and you feel like you have the ability to do so
Let
again?
me just say, I went to the prom with Kamar and I do not support these.
I know you did. I was with you. Hey.
No, but Kamar, why did you say once? Because
girl, they be the nice guys.
No, but I'm saying when you.
No, you said you thought he was nice. Honey, what?
Because when you say once, that makes it sound like you know that once is okay, but you like it's too much.
What?
Okay, it's Demontre said that's crazy. Cheating is going to happen if you're being an individual in your relationship. You got to be selfless in the relationship. Period.
Wait, I don't.
That's crazy. Cheating is going to happen. So we got that part.
Cheating is so you think?
Oh no, it's going to happen if you're being an individual in your relationship.
Okay.
You got to be okay. Now we was about
Thank
to.
you. Reading is fundamental.
There we go. All right. Then that goes back to what I was saying when I expressed to you what it means to me and how I feel. Blah blah blah, and then you still do it.
That's true. That is true.
And that's the same. We were just talking about nagging wives. It's like, ladies don't want to admit to that because ladies like to think they just naturally, they not nagging or they whatever. But if a man tell you he don't like a nagging wife and then make him feel this and then make his self-esteem this and then make him in a bad mood, you need to stop nagging him. It's the same thing.
And that's true because once you're being an individual in that sense, you're not thinking about your mate.
Shout out to all the people that don't nag, though, by the way.
You're not thinking about your mate. And once you get to the point where you don't take he or she into consideration before the things that you do, you don't need to be with them. Because you don't rock with them for real.
And Conker said, when you cheat in a relationship, you cheat yourself.
You better go ahead and say something with your exclamation marks. Yes, come through.
Yes, I like it. I have to shout out my group chat. I'm not going to read y'all comments because they're too far back in the conversation, but they feel like I'm ignoring them. I'm not ignoring them. Y'all just a little late, but I hear y'all. I appreciate the support.
And do we got? I don't say that.
I have one more.
Okay, and then we can.
So this is a question I think we've discussed before about guys pursuing girls that they liked for a while or whatnot, and then dropping the ball. Now y'all were all listening probably back in the day. Okay, wait a minute. Wait, Kamar.
It's really just a tactic to see how much pull you have, but no, I would never cheat.
Kamar, stop the game.
Stop. Yeah, because Nobody uses a cheating tactic. Like, that's the wrong tactic. Maybe you should bring it up in a sense of, have you ever been cheated on or like past relationships or something. But don't ever make it in reference to yourself as a tactic.
And I wouldn't think that it would show how much pull you have. I would think it would show how much she'll take, how much,
and let's keep it funky.
About herself.
Right, because if she say yeah, then she a weak A, BIT, and you need to leave her right there. Like, why would you want somebody to stay with you after you cheated on them? Because guess what? Girls is petty and scandalous nowadays. She'll get you back, bruh, and you'll never know.
Get it, baby.
I don't think that, baby.
Okay, now, like I was saying.
Sorry.
Talk about pursuing a girl. So we all, I'm sure a lot of y'all listened on a couple episodes when I discussed the guy that pursued me for 4 to 5, maybe 6 years.
Too long.
Gets my number.
Drops the ball.
Asks me on a date.
Drops the ball.
Never calls me.
Drops the ball.
And when I call him, he acts like I'm tripping.
Drops the ball.
Then he wants me to come and visit. And then he constantly is trying to make it up. But I'm like, we don't live in the same city, mind you. So it already was good that we was going to meet up as soon as we did. And now I'm the bad guy because he needs one more chance to do it. I dare y'all to coach a team and have a dude on the bench for 6 years. Like, put me in, coach.
And
put me in. Drop the ball. Fumble, whatever sport you playing.
Brick, shoot a 3 when he know he a point guard.
You would be like, you're joking me right now. What have you been? What?
Bruh.
So we need to talk about this. This is an ongoing epidemic that's like really happening. Pretty girls are getting brokenhearted every day.
But this is what I think it is, though.
A challenge.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Tap dance go. And I just feel like the guy admires you from afar for so long.
Story of my life.
And then
6 wine.
Drinks the rest of it. And then they get your number, and that's why I love that thing that everybody has seen before. Don't forget the thing you have is something you always wanted or whatever. Like, because if you can admire me from afar and you finally get the opportunity, why would you act like you ain't been on my job the whole time and I didn't know about it? Like, that's
well,
stupid.
And that's also goes back to the little thing that, you have 2 weeks before the guy that she really wants comes back, starts acting right. So it's
and
like,
it also goes to the point where if we ain't fooling with the last dude because off what he did, don't think you gonna get any.
Yeah, because we're not taking new bull crap.
Right, it's not the new
same
stuff.
old bull
right.
crap.
It's like I know what he gonna do.
Right.
I ain't about to bring you in and you come in on some BS.
Right.
You been liking me on my IG, telling your friends about me, and my friends put you on. Somebody finally put in the word, and you all crazy.
Now to the challenge point, that's real because, you know, people really think, and I think sometimes people think like it could be a conversation, it could be some locker room talk, like, you know, oh yeah, like she bad, I'm gonna try, you know, whatever. And I'm not even talking about smashing, like really. I'm talking about just getting a number and following through on a date. Following through, or, you know,
just following through.
I call you, you don't call me back. Like, you know, that happens like all the time. And it's unreal, and I don't understand if that means that you really just like the chase, because technically the chase is still going on. So I really don't get that.
I think it's just one of them type things like I got her number, or I also feel like it's one of them type things like they still intimidated, just like they was from afar.
That's a good point.
Like it's like they admired you from afar for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because they never were bold enough. And usually when these type things happen, they might end up saying something, but they probably were pressured to say something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like they just got a push out of nowhere to do it. And it's still kind of like, but I still don't know what I would. And also, depending on what they got going on is another reason why they might be kind of standoffish, because it's like, I do rock with you, and I can't even come hard like I want because I still got trouble in paradise on the other side.
And sometimes people don't think that, let's use me or something. They might not think I'll even talk to them, or that I'll even be cool, like, you know, or anything like that. So then it becomes something that you wasn't ready for to begin with.
But guess what? That's why it's so important to use your words. It's so important to have conversations. It's so easy to have hypothetical conversations. Like, I can call Pierre right now and be talking about me, but make up a whole story and say it's about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And she would believe it, and we would have a full-fledged conversation.
Can you do that to me?
No. Girl, you know I'm going to keep it.
Well, I was going to say that another thing is people don't, I think a lot of more people would act accordingly if they knew the odds that were against them. Because the guy I may be hung up on, nobody would even think she fooling with him. This may be, you know, like, you don't know the guy that you give a chance. He doesn't know that he shouldn't have got a chance. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he doesn't know that he shouldn't have got a chance. Yeah. Like, so it's kind of like, go ahead.
It's almost like,
do you know I didn't have to give you my number?
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like a cocky. It's almost like a cocky streak now.
Yeah.
Like, do you know who I am? Like, legit.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like, do you know who I am? Because
well, I don't even mean it. Yeah, that's true. That's
basically what you mean.
Yeah, but I just meant it on the other side on him.
That's what it is.
Oh, gosh.
Got him.
Anyway.
No, but for real. At the end of the day, the heart is crazy. And like we already said, it's a feeling process. And all the people that we run into, all the people that we interact with, you know, they leave marks on your heart. Woo. And like the quote says, a person may not remember what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. Like, it's a feeling process, and it's real. And when we having these matter of the heart conversations, it just go to show that it's important to be real. It's important to communicate more than anything, like, because so many things can be avoided with small conversation. Half the things that is an issue never has been talked about because we so easy to push something under the rug or to just be like, I don't care, but you really do care. And then 6 months later, you tired of caring, and now you blowing up about it, and everybody looking confused because it's like, I thought it wasn't a problem. Like, you got to know how to be real. It all stems from being real with your heart and yourself in order for everything to work past that.
Yes, and I got the quote. I forgot I had the quote, but this quote is real simple, possibly real remedial, but I like it.
And I'm all for short and sweet.
You can't make somebody love you. And I think that everybody should believe that, know that, but women really should know that. And I think, like we talked about so much about being the prize and being a chosen, you know, a man who findeth a wife, you know, being pursued and all of that. You need to know that the person that you are meant to be and that deserves you That's a different thing, because some people think they meant to be with somebody and they may not deserve you. And you may know that, but you're ignoring that. But when somebody is meant to be with you and deserve you, you're not going to have to make them love you.
Nope.
So the person that you are not sure if they love you, love them more, you feel it in your gut, you think they're going to come around, it's not the one for you. You're going to live regretful.
Just back off.
Like, resent them.
And it's easier if you take baby steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just slowly back yourself out of something, it's easier rather than trying to dart out. But I agree, you can't make nobody love you, and that's not even on a relationship with a man base. That's real life. Like, you can't make nobody rock with you. We can't make nobody listen to Fair Game every Friday.
Even though we try.
Right, we can't make nobody, you can't make nobody love you, meaning you can't make nobody do what they don't want to do. And I agree.
Yes, that's real.
And we're real, and we're
Always.
Fair Game.
Yes, and we won't be here next week, actually, because it's Nelly P's birthday.
It's my best friend. Hey, and shout out to Belinda. Her birthday is today. She turned 27. Happy birthday, girlie.
Happy birthday. And we'll be back in 2 weeks, I guess.
And we're going to hit y'all with some women empowerment.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about females, their
interaction, women empowerment.
All
This is Fair Game.
I'm Pierre Javon.
I'm Nelly P.
Life's not fair.
But we all run.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Later.